Hello and welcome to the Insight podcast, which is a podcast about insight, which is why we call it that. On here, we talk to the cast and the crew of the film, and today we got something a little bit different. We've got just the one guest here today, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and we'll start our discussion.
Okay, hi guys. My name's Tavana, and I just joined the group earlier this week, and I'm going to be their sound guy. So yeah, I'm excited.
So the first question we ask everyone on here is a very sort of basic, general question, but one of those you feel like you have to ask, which is what inspired you to take on the role that you're taking on in this production and in the industry as a whole?
Well, with sound, it was an option available. Came to this, so but I did it last year when I did NYFA. I was a producer for my group, and I also did sound during that because our group was quite short. A lot of people didn't attend. We didn't have no writers. We didn't have some crew members. We only had like 4 crew members, and to get all together, we had to work together and
Oh wow!
take on other roles, which is exciting. But yeah, when it comes to film, I've been passionate about like film and TV for a long time. I used to write stories and stuff in school, and I remember even I tried to make a musical, very cheesy. And then towards the end, I just graduated last year and I studied product design. But halfway through my year, I was like, oh, I kind of miss film and miss doing that kind of stuff. 'Cause I did media for sixth form. But I didn't like my teacher. She didn't teach that well. So everyone's grades just fell. So I was like, okay, I can't do media now. But and then luckily for my dissertation, because it was quite open about how we could go about it. So I did one where I could make a short film and then do like a 3,000 to 4,000 word essay on it. So my one was like about 5 reasons why. A bit dark, a bit real, but yeah. But it was really fun. Even though it was a serious topic, it was fun filming because I got to direct it. I got to show my creative flow and how I wanted it to be, and I kind of took on multiple roles with it. So I wrote the script, I edited the film, and directed it and produced it. But it was just a short, quick thing just for my dissertation. And then from there, I really loved it. And then I signed up for NYFA last year, did that, and I really enjoyed my role ever since. So, yeah.
And you mentioned there, obviously you did the course last year that we're all doing. This film's being made on. So you briefly touched on some of them there, but what were the differences between the course that you experienced and what we've been doing this year, of course?
So the difference at the moment, definitely COVID. I know there's like 2 courses a year, so there's April and August, and I feel like you guys run through both of them because you're the April lot. But so we were only 2 weeks, and we had to like know everyone on the first day. We did like a social network party after meeting everyone and just to get to know people in different groups and stuff. And we met in Odeon, so it was fun. And we met Rob, and we just got to know our groups, got to know what we'll be doing. And then the next few days we was planning. So it was planning what we're going to write about, and brainstorming stuff and brainstorming like locations and things like that. And it had to cramp. So the same shooting time was the same. Like you guys, we have 4 days. That's the same as us. Also, what's different is the budget. You guys had to do like crowdfund to raise money to fund the film, whereas we had a budget of £100, which is now compared to you guys nothing, chump change. And and as I was the producer, I was in charge of finances, in charge of what the money was going towards. And so big responsibility, which I didn't mind. But and then had to budget with that, which was okay, because we didn't need too much things. And what else different? I think that was it, really. It's just the money wise and the time, it was more compact for us. And even the premiere day was like at the end within the 2 weeks. And where you guys premiere like in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's very fast paced, but it was fun.
I think the course that we would have done, were it not for COVID, I think we would have met in April and sort of done the pre-production in April, and then come and filmed it in August, as we are doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think they had sort of changed the way the course was set out anyway, and then obviously this happened, and the pre-production all moves online remotely on Zoom and stuff. And a lot of the guys have been saying when we've been talking about it, it does in a way feel like a blessing in disguise for us, and for how the film has gone. Because I think if we had met in April and done the pre-production and then not met again till August, I don't think there would have been the same level of communication, among each other. And I don't think we would have been as successful with the crowdfunder and the social media, because when you have to do it remotely, on Zoom anyway, you're more likely to have those regular
Come
meetings.
together and do it.
Yeah. So I think there was going to be a difference anyway, but it is quite a drastic difference for us. And so, because of those differences, and coming into this group, as you say, quite late, you've come in the past week, very graciously. How did you get involved in this film, and what were some of your sort of first impressions of the film and of the group?
You guys are all lovely. I'm not just saying that. No, you guys are. I felt I was really quite like, okay, I'm just joining into a group now. Everyone really knows each other. But no, it's all mixture of like age range, and you guys' personalities and characters are just lovely. And it's kind of reminds me of my old group, not to keep reflecting, but it was just like I can just jump straight into it and just feel comfortable already, ready making jokes and get along well. And your film was really interesting. I feel like that was a good thing. I was lucky enough to join a group and the storyline's very intriguing, because I think the worst thing will be a part of a film that you don't really agree with the storyline. It's a bit like, okay, but yeah, I love it. It's mysterious, it's got a lot of mystery, and then it's like, a girl missing, who's done it, who's the reason why, where's she gone, kind of thing. I think it's a really good idea, really good concept, and I'm very excited to start filming. And the locations are lovely as well. We're blessed with a good building that's got this modern but old stylish look to it. So we can really bring it to light with the camera. We'll really bring it to play, and I can't wait for that. And then obviously Greenwich Park and stuff like that. So, and it's going to be really hot, but it's still the ideal weather for it. So yeah, a lot of sweating, but it'll be fine. I can't wait.
Did you find it? How do you find it coming in with? I mean, as we record this, we'll be filming next week. I think this time next week will be our rehearsal day, and then we'll be filming next week. How did you find it sort of coming in at such a late stage in the process?
I did feel a bit behind. Still feel a bit behind. Like I've started the script, but I still got a bit more to work through. And I think whereas like now I've had a busy week myself, and I just had like a job interview, and I've just been like socializing. And because COVID's a bit more lenient, been able to like socialize with my friends more. So I've been trying to cramp in and fit times to go with like Zoom-ins in the mornings, out at night time, and yeah, it's a bit wild, but no, it's fun. It's a bit hard just catching up, but then it's not too much. It's not too much to stay. I do feel a bit like, okay, what can I do to be on board and to do the same thing you guys do, especially with social media, because like I don't have Twitter, but I am on Instagram, so I can help. I do repost stuff, but it's like, should I do more? Because I know with the takeover stuff, I'm going to be sound guy, so I can't really be like holding the broomstick and then holding the phone. Like, so I was looking, okay, what can I do? So it's just about being a bit like, okay, is anything needs to be done? What should I do? Apart from that, yes, it's all right. It's a good. I don't feel like left out. I don't feel like behind too much. So.
So another question we ask a lot of people, although it's slightly different circumstances for yourself, I suppose. What was it that sort of attracted you to the National Youth Film Academy as an organisation? and the Set Ready course as you did it as a course for you?
Well, the good thing about the internet is you can talk about conversation, and then when you go on anything, the adverts pop up related to what you've been talking about. I don't know why the internet's be stalking people, but yeah. So I was talking about with my uni friends, like, okay, I really do like film. I don't know what route to take. So I was researching like film stuff, and then NYFA popped up. There was like an American one first that I saw. I was like, I'm not going to New York because that New York film. I was like, okay, might be a good opportunity. I'm not going there to film. And then I saw this one. I was like, oh, amazing. And then because I saw it 2 years back now in like December time, and then I had the interview in January. So January, February, late, yeah. So I was like, okay, I have time to make the interview and kind of like see how it goes and see what I want to do. Because I wasn't really sure specifically, like I know I liked writing, but I've never read a script before. And I said, oh, then I kind of like direct and like bossing people around. So I was like, okay, I can do this, but I ain't really done it that much. So yeah, so then once I applied for it, I thought it was great, and I was surprised and I was happy that I got in. They liked my work that I did. So yeah, I thought, why not? Got into it. And then I think what really helps with the course is they have workshops. Yeah. So you get to kind of find out more about each category, like being directors, writing screenplays and stuff like that, and being a producer. And then also it's got actors workshops and stuff like that. And it makes you feel like, okay, oh yeah, I do actually like this role, this more better than this one or whatever. You kind of find out more about what field suits you best. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the money.
You mentioned there about New York Film Academy. You know, they can't brand themselves NYFA because they'll get sued by the New York Film Academy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, externally, they have to call themselves National Youth Film Academy. It's only like...
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, that makes sense. Because imagine applying for that and then it's like, where's your passport? Because you need to go to another country.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was looking at the cost of it. I'm like, maybe not. Yeah, no. I'm okay. I think I don't want to sell my house to go to New York.
Honestly, it's too much sacrifice.
Yeah.
Broadway, especially.
So here's a bit of a fun question. We like to ask some fun, silly, not silly, but hypothetical questions. Who plays you in the film about your life story?
Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. I like this one. Okay, there's someone that comes to mind because have you ever seen this show called Some Girls? It used to be on BBC Three.
No.
No. Okay, I need to search her name up because everyone used to say I look like her, and then like her personality on the show was quite similar to my personality as well. Yeah, her name's called Adeleo. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
What she looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'll get her to play my life because, again, like in the program that I watched her in, her personality is quite similar to mine, and I think she's quite. Because it'll either be her or Letitia Wright, because I love her, especially in Black Panther, she was really good, and in Black Mirror, she was really, really good. Yeah, both of them. I like her charisma, her personality, and even just like in real life, what she portrays to the world, like the things that she stands up for and stuff. So yeah, I'm glad there's more young Black talent out there that people of all races and stuff can look up to and relate to. So I feel like them two can, play me in my own film one day.
So talking about you working on sound, on Insight, what is your approach to that on this project? Have you been working on that with some of the other guys in the group?
Not yet. I've got next week. I'm going to work with Bailey, setting me up with someone. I'm not sure. I forgot his name. So I had so many Zoom meetings this week. I just got bombarded. But yeah, we're gonna go through it with some like sound engineering stuff and know how to work it, because I only did sound for the film last year, and I was okay. I wasn't like I'm not an expert, so I still need to find my bearings and become better with it. But it's not too bad. It's not too difficult-ish. So it's not like editing. That would be way different. I would need weeks of training for that. So yeah, that's all right. It's just I need to practice more how to hold the music, because that stuff aches a lot. But yeah, I'll be good.
So we talk a lot on here with the guys about obviously working in lockdown and working remotely. How you found that for yourself and coming onto this film. Was it sort of a concern for you potentially in terms of following COVID guidelines and working safely on set?
No, like I trust everyone. We're gonna get our tests done, so but as long as we're all protected at all times as much as we can be, masks, anti-bac. I always carry that with me anyway. I'm a low-key germ freak, so I just make sure that's with me at all times. So it should be fine. And before, when lockdown was proper serious and really high risk and stuff, I was always in. So it was a bit hard to adjust into that, even though I have my lazy moments. I was like, okay, I can do this. But then when it's like weeks and weeks, I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I need some kind of, I need some kind of social. I missed work. I never thought I'd ever say that. I missed working. Yeah, I just missed that stuff. And then even that was hard because I work in a restaurant. So I was like, okay, I definitely can't work from home or anything like that. I'm gonna have to wait for the place to be open, and I'm still waiting for that. I'm thinking restriction wise, but I think now there hasn't really been that many cases have been popping up too much, and I think more people are taking precautions as necessary. So I know when it comes to being on set, we're gonna do the right thing and we're gonna be safe.
Yeah. I know what you mean about struggling with it. I think a lot of my friends have found it sort of difficult to adjust to being in lockdown. But I for myself, another thing that this film has sort of made a positive out of the situation is that it's really been a great way of having something to do in lockdown, and it's for me personally, and I would assume some of the other guys, but I don't know because they've all got their own lives. But yeah, it's been nice to have something to be working on, and it's just another way that it's really, as I say, it's really been a positive, made the best out of a bad situation for us, and
Definitely.
yeah. So
did you study before?
No, so I'm 19, and so this year is sort of first year of university for my age. So my mates went to university this year, but I didn't because I was doing this sort of, which was in some ways a substitute. But for me, I was never. I looked at some drama schools and stuff, but because I sort of knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to, in many words, I just wanted to start working in the industry. I just wanted to get on with it. And I didn't feel like I needed university. I mean, I could be wrong about that. But especially once I had this and I knew I was going to be doing this, for me, that was a case of, well, that's what I'm going to do. And this course has sort of confirmed for me that actually I don't really want to go to university. And I want to be doing this as much as possible and just be trying to get into the industry, as difficult as that may be in these
that's good though
times. But yeah. And talking to some of my mates about it, because obviously they're back here now. I talk to them quite a bit, and they're asking, do you feel like you're missing out on the experience of it? And a little bit, yeah. I think that is really the only thing that I feel like maybe I should have gone for that experience. But I think overall, doing this, like I say, it's like, well, I don't need university.
Yeah,
And I've still got the option to in a few years if I want to, but
exactly.
I'm gonna try and make it into the big bad world on my own and see how it goes.
No, good. And the thing with university, like you don't, I know people, it feels like you have to go like straight out of like college or sixth form and go straight into it because it's like a more youngly dominated institution. But any age, like in my class, I had a student, he was like in his 40s. And he was there. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was a teacher at first on the first day. I said to him, "Oh, what are we learning today?" He said, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "Oh, you're not a teacher?" He's like, "Oh, no, I'm a student." I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry." And so any age, and like he had his company, but he wanted to get more experience, so he did it, like the education and stuff. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you feel like you want to take your year out or years out to do what you want to do because you know already, and then maybe get education after, like a diploma degree. It's fine.
I think there is like, there's sort of I don't know what the word would be, but you sort of expected to go to university after college.
Yeah.
I was finishing college and it was like, what are you going to do next? I'm like, well, no, not university. And I'm like, a gap year, I suppose. But that, to me, that implies that I'm then going to like go to university after that. And I'm not as far as I'm, as far as it is now. So yeah, there's a sense of like, oh well, no, you should go to university and do more education, but that's not for me. And I'm happy doing this, and it's been nice that this has sort of validated that in a way. Yeah. So it seems very quick now because we normally have more discussion. Unless I don't know if there's anything else that you have thought of to mention or bring up that I might not have thought of.
So what got you into acting exactly?
Oh, this is not what I expected. The guys are gonna love this because they don't turn the questions on me. For me, it was Doctor Who actually. Yeah, when I was a kid, and it wasn't a thing that like my parents put it on and they were like, oh, you should watch this because they remembered it from like the 70s, but they didn't like watch it. So I don't really know. I think they were just sort of intrigued and they put it on. And when it first came on in 2005, I would have been about 3, I think. So obviously I was very scared of it, but yeah, I just sort of fell in love with it. And also at the time they had a show. The main show would finish, and then you flip over to BBC Three when that was a TV channel and not on the internet, and it would be like a behind the scenes show, and I think it was watching that more specifically. Where I was like, oh, that you can do that as a job. You can like pretend to do that, and that can be a job. Although obviously, like 4 years old, I didn't look at it as like a job, but yeah, I think just since then, that was what sort of sparked my imagination, and then going to, amateur drama groups and stuff throughout my childhood, and yeah, I found that it's one of the few things I'm like good at. Although I don't like to say I'm good at acting. I think that's terribly. I don't know. What's the word? I think you sound up yourself if you'd say I'm a good actor. Well, but yeah, I've always had a fascination. I think because it was a TV show that sort of first inspired me to do screen acting. So I'm not like a massively big on Shakespeare. I don't like get it. And some of my family think that's weird. They're like, you want to be an actor? You don't like Shakespeare? What's wrong with you? That's weird. But I think nowadays I'm sort of comfortable in that. It's like, yeah, I'm a bit weird. Like I want to do it, but I'm not. I think I'm a bit unconventional in that sense, potentially. But that was it really. And then just doing it, more as I grew up and discovering more about the workings of the industry.
Yeah.
And what goes on behind the scenes and doing that, which I have more of an appreciation for as I've got older. That's sort of it. And now I'm here.
Okay, that's good. So, what's your favorite genre of
Uh,
film or TV?
I think I probably would have to say like sci-fi or fantasy. I don't know. I think as a kid, I always had a bit of a wild imagination. I was always sort of happy in my own head, just running around the playground on my own. I was one of those kids. Um, so yeah, anything like that that you can just go mental with. But you know, other stuff like this, if it's good stuff, it doesn't really matter what genre it is. Eh? Um, yeah.
Had a contract. Sorry. So, if you had like your agent called you and said, "Okay, we've got lined up." What would be the worst type of film for you to audition for?
Ooh, horror, because I'm a big old pansy.
That's all right. That's high five you on that one because I hate them.
Although I don't think I'd like be bothered with like being in it and like acting in it, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't then watch it.
I'm about to say I couldn't because when the hits and the type of the coloring I can't do it. Especially spiritual ones. I hate those ones the most. I can't do it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate horror films.
Also, maybe something really geared towards kids, because sometimes I find that a bit awkward personally. I don't know. I could do it, but like when our crowdfunding went down, I don't know if you saw, we did a little video where we're all like throwing confetti in the air and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, and we had to do it individually. And I think I was sat here and I did it and I said thank you, and it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. Like, it surprised me how much I hated it.
Wow.
Just being nice. I realized in a group meeting the other day that I've sort of ended up with this reputation for being miserable, and just being
Yeah, I heard
sad.
that one.
Which is I did that at my last job as well. I was sort of, because when I started I didn't speak much, and then I sort of played it up that I was like really like grumpy and miserable, and people were like, are you all right though? Like, guys, I'm not sad, it's a joke. I'm not actually sad. And I sort of done it again in this group as well, because I think it's funny, and I play it up too much, and then people are like, you're always miserable. So oops, I'm fine, I'm okay.
That's good. Disclaimer out there for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the final question that I've got written down, which is the final question we ask everyone. So I don't know what your approach to this one will be, but it is, what are you most excited for people to see in Insight?
Oh, I think I'm excited. I think the thing I love about film and TV, whatever, is the reaction and emotions that people get when they watch it, when they watch a certain scene. So I can't wait for the right parts to convey a really good emotion out of the audience. Once the audience gets the right, well, not right, there's no right and wrong emotion, but a good emotion for that scene, I feel like as a filmmaker, I've done my job.
Yeah.
I always want them to enjoy it, but also just to feel everything, to laugh, to cry, to feel upset that the person got away with that, or to this and that. Like, I love it. That's why I kind of love like bad guys in films and stuff, because they actually make me don't like them, and they play a really good role of me hating them. I'm like, nah, well done, you did it. I don't like you now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and where our film has mystery and suspense to it, it's the perfect. I feel it's going to convey the perfect emotion out of each audience. I can't wait.
And I think we're wanting to take a camera to the screening in October, so we can sort of get people's reactions.
That'd be so
after
cool.
Yeah, well, because of the mystery of it, because of the mind game aspect of it. We want different people to have different reactions, and so I think we want to try and get those and sort of put it into a thing to promote it further when we take to festivals and stuff. And yeah, it's just about how people react to it and how people have different reactions to it. I think it's going to be really exciting. So as I say, that's the end of my questions.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you for coming on. Bit of a shame we couldn't get some of the other guys on just because how things work out. But we've had a good discussion
Yeah, it was
regardless.
good. Thank you. This is
Yeah.
my first podcast. I was really nervous, but it was amazing. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
That is not a problem. And in terms of what we're going to do for the podcast next week, if you're a regular watcher, because we do have them, they're all the mums. I didn't realize this, right? But it's all the mums who love it. I've had a message from a few of the guys talking about how much their
Really?
mum loves it. But yeah, some of them have been. I think
Oh,
I had one message from someone saying, "Oh, my mum wants to adopt you. I hope that's okay."
we got offered.
My mum doesn't care. Everyone else's mum, they absolutely love it. But in terms of next week, I don't know, because we might record one remotely in between now and then. But next week, as of the 15th, we'll be in London filming the film, and I think we're hoping to do like an in-person podcast potentially with all of us distant.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, so we're looking into doing something like that. So I look forward to that. And yeah, we will see you next time. Thank you again for giving up your time and coming on this very hot day. I'm really hot now. This is Oh.
Trust me. I was out there earlier. I was dying.
Yeah. Well, the sun's gone in, but it's still
It's still
really humid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
sticky.
And so we'll see you next time. And that is it from us. So thank you, and bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.